Now that we're done with the fade, we can move on to the front line and separate his baby hairs from the hair that we don't want to cut. Now that we're done combing everything down, we could go ahead and debulk them with the one guard all the way closed. Now that we have a nice and clean canvas, we can move on to our gold FX and start off in the middle and work our way to the sides. You always want to make sure you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. When I line up my C-cups, I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. Now we're working our way to the next side, and we're going to also follow the same steps and go as slow as possible. As you guys can see, I'm using the corner of the blade and the C-cup is coming out nice and crispy. Now we're going to knock the beard down to a one guard all the way open and make sure everything's nice and even. Now I'm going to use the gold FX to line up the back of the beard and also the neck of the beard. When lining up the neck area, you want to make sure not to press too hard and be gentle here, because you could cut them and the skin is very thin here. Now that we're done lining up the beard, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Derby premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. We also want to apply some shave gel so that the razor can glide better. When using the razor, you want to keep it at a 45-degree angle and stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. Don't forget to stretch the skin, it's very important. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and leave your super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-fade on my little brother, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure that the canvas is nice and neat. Once we're done combing everything in place, we move on to our Gold FX and create our first guideline, contouring to his head shape. The reason why you want to contour this guideline to their head shape is so that the fade could be unique to them. Now that we're done creating our first guideline, we're going to switch over to our 3 guard all the way open and 3 bulk the sides. Don't forget to use a comb to feed the hair into the clipper. Now that we're done debulking sides, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Now that we're done setting in that guideline, we can slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and erase that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 1 guard and its lever, we can move on to the half guard and use its corners to erase the line completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. We're then going to use this lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. As you guys can see, now that the line is soft enough, we're moving on to our 1.5 guard, and we're going to use its corners and the lever to erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open would definitely help. Now we're using our clipper over comb method to debulk the sides and make it as smooth as possible, connecting it to the top. Once I was done doing my first rough draft of the side, I wanted to drop the hair, making sure that I'm able to see how the hair sits down. Now that I'm done drying up the hair, I can use my thinning shears and my comb to feed the hair into the clipper. When using thinning shears, you always want to use a deep tube comb, and it picks up the hair a lot easier. I'm going back to my clipper over comb method just to make sure I detail as much as possible. Here I'm using a razor comb to thin out the edges. Now that we're done detailing the sides, we can move on to our Gold FX and line up his C-cups. I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. You also want to make sure you don't press too hard because you could irritate them. Here I'm adding some finishing details with my thinning shears. Now I'm using the 4 guard all the way open to debulk and make sure everything's as smooth as possible. Starting off with our 3 guard all the way open, we're going to use our comb to feed the hair into the clipper and we'll debulk the back. Now that we're done debulking, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend, especially when you're near the occipital bone. We're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. You always want to detail as much as possible, especially when you're near the occipital bone, because the hair follicles is a little bit more denser and you do have the bone that is called the occipital bone that does obscure the view. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin to give you more room to blend. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Remember, we're going to use this same guard and its leverage to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up this line with the one guard, we can move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. Moving on to our two guard all the way open, we're going to use this guard to create our fourth guideline, and remember to flick out once you reach the top. Once we're done using the lever to soften up the line with the two guard, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Now I'm using the clipper over comb method to debulk the calic area. I always use my horizontal cuts to debulk and my vertical cuts to blend, and I'm always pulling the comb at a certain angle. Now that we're done with the back, we can move on to our gold FX and make our C-cups as crispy as possible. I always use the corner of the blade and start off at the bottom, working my way to the top arch. Now that we're done lining up his C-cups, we could go ahead and move on to the top and use our shears. I usually make my guideline through the middle and then connect it to the sides. You also want to make sure that the hair is nice and saturated so you can get this true length. When picking up the hair with your fingers, you always want to use clean and consistent strokes. As you guys can see, now we're connecting the same guideline to the sides. We're also cutting it at an angle. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Again, when you're lining up the C-cups, you always want to keep them natural and use the corners of the blade.